Here are our ingredients. First of all, we have an avocado because guacamole is typically made of avocado. But today we are making a twist on our guac and we are including frozen peas. What? Yes, these need to be thawed for a little bit. They are very good. They're gonna give them the extra green, the creaminess, and a lot of really good nutrition. So to that, we are going to add tomatoes. Here we have some cherry tomatoes, which are very small, but you can use whatever tomato you have at home. We also have a scallion or a green onion. You can use regular onion or red onion or no onion, but I think you will need it. And then limes. Limes are green and they're tangier than lemons. Lemons are the yellow ones, so lime is what you're going to need. And now for my spices, we are going to need some sea salt, just regular salt. This is garlic salt. Garlic salt is a mixture of garlic powder and salt. Okay, now if you don't have garlic salt, don't worry. You can always use regular salt and just chop a clove of garlic. You're all good. We are going to use some cilantro. This is dried cilantro. You can use it fresh. Some oregano. Oregano is very, very delicious. It smells very earthy and herbaceous at the same time. That means it smells green. I know you probably are laughing, but it smells really good. This is Mexican oregano, okay? Most people have an oregano variety that's for Italian food. This is a different oregano, and this is going to be perfect for our guac. And lastly, we have some chili powder. This is sriracha powder, which is super spicy and delicious. You can use this. You cannot use any chili at all if you don't like spicy things, or a jalapeno or a fresh chili if you want. So here are our ingredients and let's start cooking. So first things first, we need to go to the sink and rinse our veggies, okay? Hold on. Okay guys, first things first. We are going to rinse our veggies and wash them really well before we can start prepping them. So I am making a stack and follow me to the sink. I also have a kitchen towel to make sure we dry them really well. All right. Okay friends, so as I have said before, anytime you purchase any sort of veggies, you need to make sure you rinse them really well. You can use your hands and scrub away, set them aside. My tomatoes, especially because I'm using the skin of the tomatoes, I'm not gonna peel them. I wanna make sure they're washed really well, okay? Like that. My lime. Scrub and drain, and my green onion. Especially this one because these were actually inside of the ground, so probably you'll have dirt on them. But now that we have them, I have my kitchen towel. I'm gonna pat them dry and I can put everything back and then bring it back to my station. Talk about what equipment we need to make this amazing guacamole today with our beautiful avocado, okay? For smashing the avocado, you can use very many different things. You can use a smasher, or masher, I should say. Actually, these two look totally different and they're made for mashed potatoes, but you can use these to mash pretty much anything you want. Now, if you have a cooking kit with you, you got a plastic one. And I would say if you can get a plastic one, it's even better. And I'll tell you why in a second. Or you can always use a wooden spoon, or you can use a fork. Anything that you can use to mash your avocado, you're going to need. And the other thing we will need today is actually a butter knife, okay? We are not using sharp knives today. Remember, when we use a knife, we always keep our fingers on the knife and our eyes on it, and we use it properly, okay? Now, kids, if you're younger over there and you want to use a knife, make sure you have an adult nearby. And we are going to need a bowl, and that's all we need. Okay, so we have our scallion or green onion, and this is how we prep it. We are going to place it on top of a cutting board. We're going to wet your knife. And remember, you keep your fingers away from where you're cutting. And I am going to, first of all, take the root away because you don't really want to chew on that. That can go on the compost. And then you are going to start making very thin slices, rocking your knife back and forth. And you can go as thin as you want. And what we are going to need is mostly the white parts of the scallions. Okay, if we go into the green parts, that's going to be a little too bitter. See how this is kind of falling apart? That's okay. You can just peel the layer that is not as tender, set it aside, and keep on chopping away. See how that is way better. As I said before, friends, you can use scallions, you can use regular white onion, you can use red onion, you can use whatever sort of other onion you want. Okay, so this is what I want for my guac. This is gonna go in the compost. See, and it's small. You can also go ahead and run your knife back if you want it smaller. Okay, and it goes into your bowl. So you grab everything, put it in your bowl. And now our next step is to use our lime, okay? Now I'll tell you a secret. Do you know how to actually know if a lime is juicy? You need to make sure that you press on it and it feels tender. And then if it's very smooth, it means that it has juice, okay? If it's a little bumpy or it's not very easy to touch, what you do is you come to the counter and then you use the bottom of the palm of your hand and you rock it back and forth like this. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna make the juices release and you get a hand massage. So it's a win-win, got it? All right, so then I will go ahead again, grab my knife and try and cut my lime back and forth. It smells so good and citrusy. And here's what I am going to do. I am going to pour my juice on top of the green onion or the scallion. And what this is gonna do is it's going to start cooking the onion. It's not going to be as sharp because the acid and the lime cooks away the sharpness of the onion. So my first step is done. I have my scallions and my onion and they are marinating and happy. And now we go for the next step. Tomato you want. So this is a little bit more than half a cup of tomatoes. Now you can use all of it. You can just chop all of it and then decide how much you want later. It's all up to you. I am going to stick with an odd number and I am going to prep only 5 tomatoes. And then if I want some more, then I can always add some more. So again, you are going to grab the tomato and then pinch it, okay? And then run your knife, stick it in first, back and forth. And then remember, friends, always flat side down so that we don't cut ourselves, okay? If I do this, it's going to rock back and forth and it's more likely for me to cut myself. So always go ahead if you want to give it a little stab, like that, yes. And then flip it on its flat back and then slice it in two. See how easy that is? I don't need a super sharp knife. I just need to know how to use the one that I have, and that's part of what I'm trying to teach you guys so that we can together learn how to make sure that we don't hurt ourselves using a knife, or even worse, be scared of knives. Because if you use a tool, like any tool, like a pencil or a spoon, you can use it properly and then make delicious things, okay? So I am chopping my last tomato, again, flat side down, and slice. And see, I am leaving like a longer kind of sliver of tomatoes. Look at how, whoops, look at that beautiful red color and all the juice that's right with it. Make sure you don't waste any of it because that's going to help the seasoning of my guacamole. And tomatoes are done. Okay, hi guys, this is an avocado. Do you know how to pick like a really good avocado? I'll show you 2 tricks. Okay, the first thing that you need to know is that avocados are a fruit. And like any other fruit, they have to be ripe for you to be using them in the right preparation. Some people like, I don't know, maybe a salad or a sandwich with an avocado that's a little less ripe. We want really soft avocados for our guacamole, okay? So the first way you learn is you just like press and see how my fingers are like feeling that it's a little squishy. That is great. Don't overdo it because you're gonna bruise it. The second thing you can do is, do you see how this one has a little stem in there? If you peel it off and you see the color inside, see, that looks very pretty and green and vibrant. That's a good sign. If you're at the store and you pull this off and then you see brown, probably not a good avocado. So this is a good avocado. I think because of the texture and then the color in there, okay? So this is very important, friends, because as I was telling my friend, there is such a thing as avocado hand injury, because some people don't know how to cut avocados and then you hurt yourself. That's not what we want. What we want is for us to learn how to properly cut an avocado. So first things first, you need a cutting board, okay, or a plate, and then you use a knife. Again, I have my knife. You're going to slice it lengthwise. What that means is I am going to put it lengthwise, right, cutting this, and then you're going to rock your avocado around, take it for a spin, and then it's gonna be upside down. See how it's not really leaving my cutting board, okay? And what I have is a cut all around the avo. And then, like magic, I can twist like this. Voila, there you have it. See how nice that is? It's beautiful, it's ripe, and because it's ripe, the easiest way to get rid of the seed is you squeeze it like that. See, and it comes right off. Of course, this has like bits of avocado stuck to it, so you wanna make sure you don't waste anything. So I'm going to use my same butter knife to scrape it all back in because we want all of the avo, as much as the avo as we can. Too cold. I took this piece out of the freezer about 10 minutes ago and they're still kind of hard. As you can see, they still feel frozen and look frozen. So, you know what? That's okay. We can always use a microwave safe bowl because remember, you never ever put metal in the microwave. We are going to put them in here, okay? And we will put them for about maybe like 10 seconds in the microwave. And if you want to follow me, here's where the microwave is. Let's try that much and see what happens. Kitchen towel, I'm waiting. Remember, we need a kitchen towel or some pot holders so that you don't burn your fingers because that is going to be probably hot. So let's wait for the microwave to end and then take out our peas and then we're ready to start mashing them. There we go. Open and ooh, look at that. See, they don't look white anymore and like all frozen. They look green and shiny and happy. And that's what we want. We want happy peas. Okay, so the recipe calls for 1 cup of peas. I have more than a cup here, so I am going to just kind of eye it out. And I'm adding that right to where my scallions and my lime are together. So now I can use my masher. And what you want to do is you want to use all of your upper arm strength to mash these babies as much as you can. See, they're starting to break up a little. You can see some of the skins coming off. You want to rotate your bowl. Okay, that means you bring it in a circle. You keep on pushing it down very gently. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautifully green? It's perfect for St. Patrick's Day. Okay, there we go. That looks like it's a really good mash. And now we are going to add the avocado, okay? So we can always use our handy knife to scoop it out. Again, please, please, please be careful. That is one way to do it. You can scoop everything out like so, okay? The other way is you can always peel an avocado. What? Look at that. You can just take all of the skin off. See how I'm just using my knife as just like a little peeler almost. And there you go. There's half of your avo. It goes back in there. I will wipe my hands really quick and then we can continue mashing away. All right, here we go. Avocado and peas need to be happy and become one. Very green, gorgeous St. Patrick's Day guacamole. This is great for some stress relieving if you had like a super long day, or if you just want to start, you know, playing some fun music and dance along as you mash, why not? So I'm going to stop for a second, scrape this off, okay? There we go. And smash just a little bit more. You want to make sure. Hey guys, we are ready to season and assemble our delicious St. Patrick's Day guacamole. It's so good. It is very bright and green, and that's a good thing. Otherwise, we can get pinched, you know. So we are going to add the tomatoes. Okay, remember all the juice that stayed in there. And this, you gently fold them in. Don't smash the tomatoes because you want a little bit of texture. Now we are going to add some cilantro. This is dried cilantro leaves. This is like a really cool way to do it. You can also just grab fresh cilantro and tear some leaves apart. I am using about 2 pinches of this. I'm using just 1 little pinch, or like 1/4 of a teaspoon of Mexican oregano. Now this is very, as I said, it smells very earthy and green, and it's really good. But if you use way too much, then it becomes bitter, and you don't want bitter guac. Okay, so now we are going to add just a pinch of sea salt. And remember, our garlic salt is already salted, so just a pinch of garlic salt. And because I do like spice, I will add some chili powder or some sriracha powder. That looks beautiful already. All we need to do is just mix in your bowl. See? So every bite gets a little bit of everything. As you can see, I didn't really use measuring spoons, and that's okay. I use my fingers. Those are great tools. If you want to use measuring spoons, you can always do it. And always start with the smallest, which is 1/4 of a teaspoon, and go from there, and then less, so that you don't overdo it. It's always easier to add salt at the end. It's harder to take it away. So my guac is ready. Look at this, friends. Ooh, this looks so pretty and happy and green. And I think we are going to taste it. Now, you need to remember one more thing. We are serving today's guac with some chips. Tortilla chips are delicious and crunchy, but they already are salty. So think about it. If you're going to serve it with some veggies, for example, carrot sticks, you might want to add a little extra salt. If you're going to use some tortilla chips, don't over salt it, because then you take a bite and it's too much salt altogether. So let's grab our chips and taste our guac. Now, the favorite part of the class is the taste test. As I said, we're using some tortilla chips today, so what better way than to scoop a little bit of guac and taste it. It's very good. I think it needs a little bit more salt. I am choosing garlic salt instead of regular salt because I love the garlic flavor. But the peas are sweet and they are actually cold and plump. The avocado is very creamy, and the spices just give it everything that you need. Maybe a little bit more heat. Let's try again. Perfect. So good. Before I finish this delicious guacamole, let's think about what we learned today. Let's see. We learned how to properly find if an avocado is ripe and make sure you get the perfect avo for your guac. We also learned how to squeeze a lime using your hand and a counter or a table to make sure that you get all the juice in there. And then we also learned how to use a masher. So now it's not only just for mashed potatoes or maybe applesauce, but you can also use it for some guacamole. I hope you make this recipe for somebody you love, starting with yourself, and happy cooking and happy St. Patrick's Day. Bye guys!